When you work on any data science or data analysis project, while you are exploring the data, it is very important to visualize the data as well. So that's why data visualization using Python is very important topic. Hi, my name is Rohit, and in today's video, I will show you how you can use Matplotlib library in Python and create various kind of visualizations using it. Let's get started. So let's start with the Matplotlib visualization. So here we are importing the pyplot module from Matplotlib, and we are importing the NumPy library for creating the data for visualization. So the first example that we would cover is line plot. So first of all, we are creating couple of points. So x points using NumPy array. So that is 2, 4. And then we are creating y coordinates using again NumPy array, and that is 5, 10. So we have created x coordinates and y coordinates. Now we would plot a line based on that. So here basically we are initiating a figure, and in that figure we are keeping the figure size as 3 by 3. So this 3 is basically in the form of inches. So we are creating figure which would be 3 inch by 3 inch. And then using the plot function, we can create a line plot. So here we are passing x coordinates and y coordinates. And then using plot.show, we would display that plot. So if you see here, our first point was 2, 5. So x was 2 and y was 5. So 2, 5. And the second point was 4, 10. So x was 4 and y was 10. So this is how we have created a line plot using Matplotlib. Now this particular line you can show in different format as well. So in this example, now I am only changing this parameter. So we are passing the type of marker, type of line and color that we want. So we want a marker in the circle format, then we want a dotted line, and the color that we want is blue. So if you pass these parameters while calling plot function, this is how you would get the line. So this looks much better than our previous line, right? So this is how in Matplotlib you also get options to create custom visualizations. Now if you see this plot, we haven't shown any X label or Y label, or we haven't given title to this plot, right? So title is very important. So that's what we are going to do now. So for that, what you can do is simply you can use plot.x label, and to that you can pass what label you want to show on X axis. So here I am passing the text X axis. So for Y, we are passing the text Y axis, and we are giving the title to this plot using plot.title, and that we are passing line plot using Matplotlib. So this is how your plot would look like. Here the X label you can show over here, Y label you can see over here, and the title which we have passed you can see over here. This now becomes a complete plot. So whenever you do any data visualization, make sure that you are giving labels to your X axis, Y axis, as well as the title to your plot. That would make your plot really informative. So this was about line plot. Now let's try to create a scatter plot. So again we are creating a data. So we are creating couple of lists over here, x1 and y1. And now we are going to create a scatter plot. So we have initiated a figure first of all, again 3 by 3. And for creating a scatter plot, you can use the scatter function. So to scatter function, you have to pass your x and y coordinates, which you are passing over here. Then we are also passing the color that we want for that particular data point. So we are saying red color. Then we want line width as 2. And we are going to again use circular marker for this. And edge color of the circle, we are going to keep it green. So that's why we are passing edge color equal to green. And this S is equal to 50 basically represents the size of the circle. And again in this particular plot as well, we are passing X label and Y label along with the title. So this is how your scatter plot would look like. You can see every data point is now marked in the form of red circle because we are passing color red, and everything has a green edge because we are passing edge color as green. So this is how you can also create a scatter plot using Matplotlib. So remember the scatter function for that. Then you might get a requirement where you have to plot two scatter plots in an overlap manner. So even that is possible using Matplotlib. So what I am doing here, we already have a data set 1. Now we are creating another data set 2, and to overlap those two scatter plots, right? What you have to do is simply create another function called to scatter function, and in that pass on your second data point. So basically data points for x2 and y2 we are passing over here, and for that now we are saying the color we want is yellow, and we want different kind of marker, a triangular marker, and this time we are putting edge color as red, and we are also changing the size of that particular triangular marker. So if you see here now, this is how we are able to create overlapped scatter plot. So basically we are able to plot this first data set as well as second data set into the same plot using Matplotlib. So the second data set now we are able to plot using triangular markers, and we are increasing the size, we are using different colors. So this is how you, when you have requirement to plot two different data sets as a scatter plot in a single plot, you can do this. Only change that we are doing, just to reiterate, is we are calling the scatter function again, and to that we are passing our second data set along with the respective parameters. Now let's see how you can draw a bar plot using Matplotlib. So I am creating a data here in the form of dictionary, and this data I am calling it as a salary index. So basically this is just to compare the salary of different professions in IT. So for data scientist I am giving salary index 10, software engineer 6.5, software testing 5, data analyst 7.5, and data engineer 7. So these are just the key value pairs I have created, where key is the profession name and the value is your salary index. Then what I am doing is we are just taking the job profiles in the form of list and salaries again in the form of list from this particular dictionary. So for dictionary, you can access keys using .keys function, and you can access values using .values function. Then we are initiating a figure and giving it a size 4 by 2 inches. And now let's create a bar plot. So for bar plot, you can use bar function. So you are doing plot.bar, and to that you have to pass your job profile. So basically whatever you want to plot on x-axis, and on y-axis you want the salary index. So that's what we are passing over here. And we are also passing the color of the bar plot. So we are saying that we want to keep the color blue, and the width of these bars we are putting 0.3 as the parameter. Then what we are doing is here, if you see plot.xticks, and we are doing rotation equal to 90. This is because these labels, data scientist, software engineer, if you don't rotate them, they would be printed in a horizontal manner and they basically would get overlapped on each other. That's why I'm rotating the labels on the x-axis, and that's why you're able to see them like this. And then usual parameters for x-axis label, y-axis label, and title we are passing. So if you see these plotting functions, only thing that is really changing from one type of plot from another type of plot is this main function which you're calling. So for line plot, if you remember, for line plot we were using the plot function. Then for scatter plot we were using the scatter function, and then basically for this bar plot we are using the bar function. So if you see here, this is how our bar plot is created. You can see the salary indexes on y-axis and job profiles on x-axis. So this is how you can also pass any data that you have and create a bar plot. Now I have created a histogram using the Matplotlib. So how to create a histogram? So first of all, we are creating a data from a random normal distribution, and for that distribution we are keeping the mean as 200. Then we are keeping the standard deviation as 20, and number of data points we are saying that we want 250 data points created out of this random sampling. So here we are just creating the data, and then we are initiating again a figure of size 3 by 3, and then we are plotting a histogram. So if you see here, now what we are doing is we are using the hist function for plotting histogram. So to this hist function we are passing the data which we want to plot, then we are passing the color of histogram, and we are saying number of bins that we want to create is 10. So 10 bins would be created of equal width on the x-axis for this histogram, and then the usual x label, y label, and the title which we are passing. So if you see here, this is how the histogram is created, and this histogram is having peak around 200 because when we created a random normal distribution, we said that we want basically a mean of 200. So this is how you can create a histogram using Matplotlib. Now let's see another type of plot. So now we are going to draw pie chart. So it might happen that sometimes you want to visualize the data in the form of pie charts. So specifically when you have to compare some numbers, or for example, if you have some data where total is fixed. So for example, 100% is the total, right? And then you want to see what's the contribution of different categories in that overall contribution, right? Then for those kind of plots, you can create a scatter plot. So here I'm just creating a data here, again in the form of dictionary. What I'm saying is dictionary key is the name of the item which we are selling in e-commerce, and the value is say revenue share in that particular e-commerce website. So maybe clothing is contributing with 30% revenue share, household devices 20% revenue share, baby products 15% revenue share, then grocery 13% revenue share. So these are the revenue shares, and we have corresponding category on the e-commerce website. So what we are doing here is, again, we have basically items which we are extracting from the keys and the percentage share which we are extracting from the values. And then we are initiating a figure as usual, which we are doing throughout these plotting exercises. And then for creating a pie chart, you have to use a pie function. So to this pie function, you have to pass values and labels. So labels would be your corresponding items. And then we are saying start angle as 90. So basically we want to start this pie chart over here. From this point, we want to start the pie chart. So if you see this line, this is at 90 degrees. That's why we are giving start angle as 90. And we are keeping counter clock as false, because we want to create this pie chart in a clockwise manner. So that's why we are keeping counter clock as false. And we are then calling plot.legend, and we are giving the location and the position of the legend which we want to display, because we want to see which category is represented by which color. That would make your pie chart really readable. So if you see this pie chart now, this larger category is representing clothes, followed by household devices, followed by baby products. So these pie charts are really useful when you want to compare different categories and their corresponding numbers. So this, just by seeing this circle, it is very clear that clothing, household devices and baby products are the top categories. And you would also see the corresponding legends over here. So this is how you can also create scatter plot using Matplotlib. I hope you got clarity on how to use Matplotlib for data visualization using Python. Now just take various kind of data sets and try to create visualizations on your own. If you do that, you will be confident on working on any data visualization project. Thanks for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one.